Hello and welcome now to lecture 3. In this lecture we're going to talk about how we view our component, how we can move around in Blender, how we can pan around the item, how we can zoom in and out, and how we can look at item directly from the top or directly from the side or directly from the front. We're also going to look at how we can actually move the component itself, how in this case we can move that cube left, right, up, down. We've touched on it in the last lecture, but now we're going to look at it in a bit more detail. So let's start with how we're going to navigate ourselves within the viewport, how we're going to do this. So the easiest way, which I'm sure you've kind of already figured out, is by pressing the middle mouse wheel. You can rotate the object. You can sort of fly around the object. The object is actually staying in the same position, and it's us which is moving around it. We can look underneath it, we can look on top of it. We can do everything just by pressing the middle mouse wheel. We can do the same thing here. We can actually just click on this x-axis, say, and just rotate. I never do that, I must admit. I've never used that, I've never found it very handy, but it is there if it's something you like. The next thing I want to show you is zooming in and out. So you can scroll with your mouse wheel and you'll zoom in and out. It's a little bit incremental. It's a little bit jumpy, as you can see, but that's the quickest way to zoom in and out. Now, if you hold down Control and hold down the middle mouse wheel and then just push the mouse forward, you can zoom in with a little smoother and a little more controlled. There we go. So I'm now going to press the shift button and the middle mouse button and just pull the whole thing over. So a bit more center. Now I'll hold the middle mouse wheel and rotate it. That's it. And then I'm going to press Control, hold down the middle mouse button and push the mouse forward to zoom in with Control. There we go. That's a bit more refined way of zooming in. And that's how we basically navigate. So, yeah, we can press Shift, hold down the middle mouse wheel and we can grab. We can hold down the middle mouse wheel and we can rotate the object. Scroll in, or press Control, press the middle mouse wheel and push the mouse forward. And that's how we basically can move around an object. Now you can see that I'm not rotating nicely around that cube, I'm off to the side of it. So if I select the cube, press the decimal point on the numpad, it'll recenter for me. And now when I press down the middle mouse wheel, I'm rotating nicely from it to it. There we go. Next thing I want to do, just to make it a little bit easier to understand which angle we are on the object, because a cube, we can't see what's up or down really. There's no clear way of understanding it. So I'm actually going to click on the item and I'm just going to press delete on the keyboard. There we go. And that's gone. The cube has gone. We might bring it back later, but for now. So I'm now going to press Shift A and I'm going to go to Mesh and I'm going to go down to Monkey and I'm going to bring Monkey in. There we go. There's Monkey. Monkey is the symbol of Blender, and she's actually called Susan. I don't know who named her Susan, but that's the name of the monkey. It's a little bit faceted, so a little bit low poly. So just to make it look a little bit better, I'm going to select the item, going to right click, and I'm going to shade auto smooth. There we go. That's just smoothed it out a bit for us. Okay. So what I want to do now is show you how to view the item from what's known as the orthographic view. The orthographic view just means that we're going to view it exactly from the front, exactly from the side, and exactly from the top, and then exactly from the bottom, which is really important when we're using photographs as a reference when we're modeling, which we will be doing that, so it's something we need to understand. So if I press 7 on the numpad, I can view Susan directly from above, looking directly down on it. That's called the plan view. It's an orthographic view. We're looking exactly down on it, staring right down the z-axis. If I press Control and 7, I can view it right from the bottom looking up. If I hit 1, I'm now viewing it from the y-axis. So I'm looking right down the y-axis, so I'm viewing it directly from the front. If I hit Control 1, I'm going to view it directly from the back. I'm still looking down the y-axis, but I'm the opposite way of the y-axis. Orthographic view from the back. If I hit 3, I'm viewing Susan from the right on the x-axis. If I hit Control 3, I'm viewing Susan from the left on the x-axis. So this is the way that we move orthographically, how we rotate around an item orthographically, so we can view it directly from the top, the left, the right, the bottom, etc., etc. So that's a cool one to know. If you've got a notepad to hand, it might be worth you actually writing some of these down. I don't know about you, but I find it easy to remember stuff if I actually write it down. And also you'll have a reference, so if you can't quite remember something, then you can just refer to your notes on how did I move to view it from the top, the left, the right, etc. So yeah, there we go. We've learned how to view the item in many different ways. We've learned how to rotate, etc., etc. So now we want to know, how do we move this monkey? How do we move Susan? So we've touched on the one way, which is using the gizmo. So again, if I hover over this blue arrow, the z-axis, I can move up like this, moving just in the z-axis. If I press Escape, I will cancel that command. And now we could do the same thing in the x-axis. So I'll just hover over this red arrow, and then I'll just move just in the x-axis. There we go. And I'll press Escape to cancel the command. So that's one way of moving, using the gizmo. The other way of moving is using the transform bar here, as we've talked about. So we could move here in the X, move over there like that. Now I can just press Escape and come back, cancel the command. Same thing, let's move in the Z. There we go, and press Escape to cancel the command. The final way of moving is to move using the G button, to grab it and to move it. This way we don't have to actually hover over the item when we're moving. So when the scene becomes more detailed, it's something that we'll be using. So if I highlight the item simply by clicking on it, and now I'm going to press G on the keyboard, and I'm going to press X, and you can see how the X-axis is actually highlighted. That's confirming that we're going to move in the X-axis, and now I can simply just move the mouse, and you can see us moving, and then the transform bar is telling us how much we're moving. There you go. I'm going to press Escape to cancel that command. So I could do the same in the Z-axis, so I'm going to press G and Z, and now I'm just going to move the mouse to move up in the Z-axis. As you can see, the cursor doesn't have to be anywhere near the actual component that we've selected now, so it's a really handy way of moving. I'm going to press Escape to cancel that. Going to do one more time, of course, in the y-axis. So G, the green axis, which is the y-axis, going to press Y, and it's highlighted the y-axis, and now I can just move it. And this time I'm going to left click and keep it there. Now if I wanted to return to the 0 after I finished the command, yes, I could go here and I could type in 0. Another way of doing it is just going back one command. So to do that, I can press Control Z, and that's taken us back, that one command. That's cancelled off or just gone back one command. So Control Z. And that's how we move around in Blender. That's how we move a component using the gizmo, or G, Z, or GX, or GY, or using the transform. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture.